Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. So as many of you may heard, ship prices are planned to increase. This is due to the pricing being component based, so totting up the cost of all the components within a ship. Basically, you don't buy a car for less value than the components that go into it. It would just be pointless. But being able to swap out weapons and components, upgrading our ships as we please, is going to be one of the mechanics in Star Citizen, which will be extremely fun. I am very much looking forward to the full, complete system, and it will really allow us to be more individual with our ships. Now, these components all come with their own stats, which affect the ship's performance in many ways, but components and weapons also cost UEC, or United Earth credits, to purchase them and keep them running. In this video, I want to show you the cost of what a ship could be once in-game purchasing comes in. A bit of a disclaimer at first though, with Star Citizen very much in alpha, prices will likely change as new items come in and eventually ship purchasing, hopefully with 3.3. The prices may differ than what we currently see in 3.2, but with that said, let's take a look at one of the more common ships out there, one of which I think the majority of backers will own. It's the Aurora. Now, this is the Aurora LX. It is my first ever ship. I bought it back in 2013, and its simplicity and no-frills design still charms me to this day. It is a beautiful ship. In 3.2, we have access to buy and swap out 4 components, excluding weapons here. The first one is the power plant, which is used to feed power to all components and weapons. Shield generators, which are pretty much self-explanatory. Coolers, which are used to keep the components and weapons temperatures down to stop them from overheating and ultimately keep them functioning. And then quantum drives, which is the component enabling you and your ship to travel at 0.2 the speed of light. Now, all these kind of coincide together. They all have a piping system that feed each other, but each component is physically placed on the Aurora LX and performs its roles as you would imagine. Now, this video isn't going to go into the stats of components or which component is better than the other. I will do a separate video on that later down the line. We're just going to look at how much the current default weapons and components of a ship cost and what we can expect to be paying for a ship when in-game purchasing comes in. Now, all the components that I'm about to read off are available in Dumper's Depot. You do have to travel round from Grimhex to Port Olisar to Levski to actually find a specific type of component. But the default power plant for the Aurora LX is called a Sunflare. This is a size 1 C-grade competition class power plant, and it costs 13,300 United Earth credits. There are 2 shield generators called Targas. They're also size 1 C-grade competition, and they cost 5,900 each. You have 2 coolers as well. These are called Quick Cool. Again, size 1 C-grade competition class. They're at 3,250 United Earth credits each. And then finally, the quantum drive is called the EOS, a size 1 C-grade civilian class quantum drive, which costs 12,000 United Earth credits. Now, for weapons, the default loadout on the Aurora LX is 2 Bearing M3 laser repeaters. These are size 1s, which cost 5,150. And then there's a couple of missiles. We have the Strike Force 2, which is a cross-section missile, a size 2 missile. And they only cost 25 each, so totaling 50 there. Pretty cheap in comparison. But the total cost for the components and the weaponry is 53,950 United Earth credits. Now, that's just for the default weapons, the ordnance, plus the 4 components and, doubling them up where needed. The components that are not yet available to purchase include quantum fuel tanks, jump modules, regular fuel tanks, fuel intakes, computers and radars, not to mention an array of more of different weapons and so forth. Now, I'm unsure of the cost of each of these other items, but I would assume the cost will be somewhere around the 2,000 to 15,000 United Earth credits mark, with some requiring dual components. That would lead me to believe that for a ship like an Aurora LX, a very basic, simple ship, fitted with default components and weapons, you are looking at a cost of over 100,000 United Earth credits just for the parts alone, not to mention the cost of manufacturing or actually them making a profit on it. Now, the point of this video is to help you understand better what the ship prices will likely be in the game once the option to purchase arrives in 3.3. Getting to understand your ship and what goes into them now will give you a head start when it comes to knowing what and when to upgrade. Also, understanding what each component does and what to look for when shopping will be very beneficial. That said, I also created this video because it's just a lot of fun flying around the verse and gathering the information from each Dumper's Depot about the components and figuring out what components you already own from when you first purchased your new ship. I may even take a look at what it costs to outfit my Caterpillar next, because I'm sure that's going to be a lot more expensive. But I do suggest that next time you're playing 3.2, take a look at your ship components via the mobiGlas and check out what's available. Start this now and then become adept in ship engineering when the game is released. But as mentioned earlier, I will create a video explaining more about what component stats mean and what to look for when choosing the right fit if you wanted to upgrade it or go a specific route like stealth. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. It's just a kind of fun video this. Be sure to hit that thumbs up if you did like it. Also let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on components, pricing. Not to mention we will be getting sub-components which go into your components. There's a lot more coming. Be sure to follow me over here on YouTube. Follow me over on Twitch at supermacbrothers, Twitter and Instagram as well. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.